Takeaways time from the first T20I between India and Australia. Well, T20 cricket is back, which means Surya Kumar Yadav is looking $1 million and Rinku Singh hits a six of the last ball to take his side over the line, even though that six doesn't go down into the scorecard. So I'm going to look at 3 or 4 things that are worth noticing in case you missed it, as well as going forward in the series. Why don't I start with the finish to the first innings and not the second, even though we get carried away with the last ball finish. Mukesh Kumar's 20th over, conceding just 5. After the 5 overs before that, Australia were blazing away. They got 73 between overs 15 and 19. With just 3 wickets down, you felt like this was the chance for Australia to get 220, 230 on a really good pitch at Visakhapatnam in a small ground to just bat India out of the game. And as the game turned out to be so close in the second innings, Mukesh's last over of just 5 runs on a day where he's gone at just over 6 and over. He may not get the wickets. He doesn't look like the most glamorous of T20 bowlers, but he does a job and he bowls smartly. So well done to Mukesh Kumar for just keeping that last over down to 5. It was crucial in the context of the game. Second, let's talk about Surya. I did do the preview to the series saying I'm going to keep a close eye on Surya Kumar Yadav, the captain. Let's talk about his batting first. It was really nice to see that in spite of the heartbreak of the World Cup final, Surya came out in a format that he so loves and looked the player that we know he is. And this was the kind of innings that India needed from him after a careless run out and then losing another one early. They needed Surya Kumar Yadav to bat deep and yet bat the way he does, which he did, which was terrific to see. As far as rating his captaincy goes, he stuck to what clearly looked like a plan, but he could have at least given Ravi Bishnoi a little more breathing space by getting an over of perhaps a seamer. Arshdeep Singh started well, didn't finish well. Could have come in the middle when Josh Inglis really had Ravi Bishnoi's number in the middle overs. It was a really tough day for Bishnoi, and we are going to keep an eye on how Bishnoi bowls, given Chahal didn't make this squad. But Surya, I thought, missed a trick or two there. I'd really like to see more part-time options being used. It's another game where India went in with just 5 bowlers, with their batting effectively finishing at 7, and we didn't see either Jaiswal or Tilak Verma chip in when bowlers were going the distance in tough conditions. I understand the reasons. There were 2 right-handers. You didn't want to bowl Tilak Verma then, but at some point, India needs to try and add the flexibility they so desperately need. Speaking of Josh Inglis, from an Australia point of view, man, he's one to watch out for. He played the innings on the night. It's a shame he ends up on the losing side. And you could have almost forgiven Josh Inglis for having some kind of World Cup hangover with the highs of what happened on Sunday. He showed no signs of a player who's either fatigued or drained, having toured with or travelled with the Australian team and been in India for so long. Brilliant innings of 110 of 50, played the spin particularly well. He has good batting conditions, but it goes to show that Australia got to the score predominantly because of Inglis. The rest of the team never got going. And Steve Smith, it's only 1 innings, and I know he's had a good big bash recently at the top of the order, but he didn't quite look the dynamic T20 opening bat you wanted in conditions such as this. Had someone else probably managed to go at a strike rate of 140 plus, which seemed par for the course in this game, Australia might well have outbatted India from this contest. Well done, though, to Josh Inglis. And finally, just looking ahead a little bit to the next T20I, India are unlikely to make changes given this is the 11 they've gone with and they've ended up on the right side of the result. But frankly, I'm a little confused about what the thinking was behind the playing 11. Ishan Kishan, I thought, was competing with one of Jaiswal and Ruturaj Gaikwad as an opener. We've never quite seen him outside that opening slot in T20I cricket. And he is going to go back to playing at the top of the order for Mumbai Indians in the IPL. Today, he got a chance to come in early because of that run out between Jaiswal and Gaikwad. But if the openers bat 6 or 7 overs, which you'd think is going to happen more often than not, then Kishan is effectively out of the game as a middle order player. You then don't want to delay Surya Kumar Yadav, Tilak Verma, and the rest of the power hitting that you have. Kishan, can he have the impact starting off outside the power play or in the middle overs is something India will need to watch out for. And if he's looking to now compete for a middle order keeper batter role, something that Pant might come in for after the IPL, or that Jitesh Sharma is in this team for, or Sanju Samson was previously tried in this role for, he's got to go back and do that role in franchise cricket, which I just don't see happening. So India need to probably give us a little more information, and we'll get that over the course of this series, as to why Ishan Kishan's being played technically out of position. And I was really disappointed to not see Shivam Dube. Someone has to be groomed for Hardik Pandya's role. India found a way to do without him in the World Cup, but he's still an indispensable player. And Dube is the only one who possesses that skill set. So I'm a bit surprised that Shivam Dube didn't play and didn't start this series. And I guess it's unlikely that we'll see him at least anytime soon, given India are likely to go in with an unchanged side. Still no Washington Sundar either, so the batting will continue to end at 7 with 4 bowlers to follow. It worked for India, but that's not really what we're looking for. It doesn't matter if they drop a game or two in this bilateral series. We want to try and see India do something that solves some of their problems going into that T20 World Cup. We'll find out in the second T20.